Ta-da-da. Hello, ihr Lieben. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining us to our today's session, which is about motherhood and parenthood and in general, how, to live this life being a parent, and maybe give you some advice for everyday life, dealing with kids in certain situations. Hello, which I found talking to Lee about certain situations or problems with Kaya. It helped me so much. So I'm very looking forward to the session. We have technical, not issues, but we're only allowed to have a live for 30 minutes. It's limited. It's due to the, I don't know, Dubai security laws, so we can only talk for 30 minutes. We might be able to postpone, so we could leave the session and then come back. Let me just check. I just invited Lee to our session. Hello. There he is. There he is.
Good morning.
Good morning! I can scream.
Good morning, beautiful world. Good morning.
Yeah, how are you, my love? How is everything?
Phenomenal, thank you.
How is life? Great. I always need that
you?
energy, especially in those deep down moments, and I'm just having a voice from you, or I called you and you're like, Anna, what is it here all about? Life is too short. Just enjoy freaking life.
Enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy. We take life too serious, isn't it? We
Yes.
often speak about this, that, you know, society takes life way too serious. Life is such a beautiful occasion, and we should stop waiting for events, for persons and places to celebrate it. Let's just celebrate every beautiful breath we take.
Also beautiful what you said. Let's in relationships, let's not wait for someone to make a mistake until we can blame them and feel better and whatsoever. Just feel love, share love, and if you see someone who is like acting weird, just tell him and share love. This is what's gonna change and magnetize.
Absolutely, my love. But you know, we spoke about this before. We said every moment is filled with love. Every beautiful moment in our lives. And when we're in a relationship, and when we're in marriage in particular, and as a mom, as a dad, you know, it's important to consistent and continuously remember that love is always present. You're either open to receive or you're sharing.
Yeah. I have so many topics I would love to talk to you about. First of all, it's a general thing, sourcing the trauma, healing the trauma. We have talked about it in our very early sessions, and maybe we can talk about it, since I believe one of the biggest traumas was becoming a mother and understanding the process, and I healed it. I understood it. It helped me so much become a mom and have a greater connection to my child.
Okay, thank you. So firstly, we want to welcome all those who have joined us, and to Usman, one of my friends who just sent a beautiful message. Thank you, Usman. Yes, my love, you know, there's a massive difference, and we shared this before, between being a mother and being a mom. Being a mother is biological. You give birth to a child, and that is as far as your relation goes. It becomes a job and a task to do to raise the child, opposed to being a mom, where you're nurturing the child and the child or children with love and care, to make sure the environment in which the child is raised is always filled with so much love. Now, we do understand that from time to time, the pressure of society and the pressures of doing things on a consistent and continuous basis does increase, the levels of misunderstanding. Also encourages our coping mechanisms to fail on us from time to time when our lives needs it the most. One of the challenges we find in those environments is that we don't take enough care of ourselves. Self-care is missing. When self-care is missing, there's no self-love, and you can't pour from an empty cup. You and I spoke about this on quite a few occasions for different aspects of your journey. So I simply say, when you feel like you're bursting, you feel like you're boiling, it's so important to just recognize it and remove yourself from that environment on a temporary basis so you can fill yourself up again.
You know, today I just talked with Andre when we had breakfast, because he said, you know, you quite often say, this annoys me, to the child. Like, Kaya, when you do that, it annoys me or it makes me angry. Please, would you stop? And then, you know, I used to be, when I was a mother, I used to read so many books and articles, talk to friends, to compare and to do how other people would do it. And then I just, after our sessions, I said, I'm a mom and I just do what feels right. And it totally also feels right to express your feelings and to, okay, here's the thing. Looking back to my childhood and what my parents did, how much they argued, what words they used. Of course, it's not a great example, though still it's how made me also resilient and, you know, made me stronger. And I feel what we do today with Kaya is that we very soften her. You tell me if it's wrong or right. I mean, there is no wrong or right, but it's just that I feel it's okay to say I'm angry and I'm annoyed and we should stop doing this. Of course, explaining with love, but also say, what is your opinion about that?
You know my opinion when we start speaking about it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
It's never okay to admit any negative vibration. It's never okay. Because the admission of that and the acknowledgement of that means we're participating in that. I am of the opinion our energy flows where our attention goes. And when we start accepting a vibration of the negativity, we're actually making an excuse not to vibrate at a higher level. As a mom saying, Kaya, this annoys mom. How many times in that same day have you said, Kaya, this really warms mom's heart? You really just made mom feel so loving today by coming to kiss mom. How many times have we done quite the opposite?
Yeah, so, I did it quite a lot. Yeah,
I'm sure you do. I'm just sharing it with other moms on the platform.
Because
it's easy for us to recognize when a child is doing something that is not approved by the family structure, and how often do we actually compliment the same child when they're doing something right? So I have a very different opinion. Instead of saying what that this is wrong, I'm not happy with this, is to teach her in that moment what is better acceptable. So in this circumstance, the parent, and I actually said this to a parent a couple of days ago in a restaurant that I was at, the parent was speaking to it was a very good example of a dad, except when he was speaking to the child and later on he was standing and the child was seated. And this is something that I said to you and Andre some time ago, is that whenever we communicate with a child, we should always be at the child's level. So either we gotta bend down so that we can be eye to eye with the child. So when a child is doing something unacceptable to your standards or to Andre, it is always good a child. So like Kaya's doing it, is just go down to Kaya and say, and hug her and say, what you've done now, it's not acceptable. Why don't you do it this way, and show her? You know, from a corporate perspective, thank you. From a corporate perspective, I always say there's a massive difference between a manager and a leader. A manager will tell people what to do. A leader shows people how to do it. In a corporate environment, people are magnetized to a leader. People resent managers because managers are very authoritarian. But leaders are more compassionate. And the same sort of values I say parents should bring to their children is to lead their child on what is the right thing to do, opposed to telling them what they should be doing.
Oh, it's just such a tough one. Really such a tough one. Like, we also discussed the topic that kids shouldn't go to an adult and you force the kids to say hi and give kisses or whatever your way of greeting is. And we did that with Kaya too. Like, it's okay. You don't have to say hi. You do what you do. You do what you feel. But she's 3 now, and I feel it has to start at some point where is it manner? Is it the right word?
Manners.
Manners, yeah. Where you greet people, where you respect older people, and where you also talk kindly in a kindly way. And you know, although we speak love and like we leave you but kids don't have any, like, they don't know what's good and wrong, right? And you lead them. But on the other hand, to say it's important for mommy that you greet your grandma and say respectfully hello. You know?
Malabs, I want to ask you on that question.
Yeah.
Manners. Who defines manners? You,
society, of course. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we've got to first understand what it is that defines manners for us as a family. For you, Andre, you know, Kaya, your sister Alfia, mom, dad, Andre's sister, Stephanie, all we got to understand from between you and Andre what defines manners that's in a comfortable way to both sides of the family, so we don't offend anyone. Then we lead her to this. You can't. I do not believe we should be telling kids. I mean, I come from a family background back in the day where we had to hug every aunt and uncle, and I know that I disapproved of it because I didn't want to do it because I had to. And eventually I spoke to my parents and I stopped doing it. So there were certain aunts and uncles that I enjoyed and I would hug them, and the others whose energy I didn't feel, I wouldn't do it. But I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was respecting who I am. So we've got to understand, what does manners actually mean to us and what do we define it to be? Because yes, of course, you know, you see grandma, you see grandpa, this is, you know, it's part of our understanding. Go and hug them and love them. And when you don't, why are you not doing it? Can you share with us why you're not doing it? Or should we lead you more, or we should set an example? You know, for example, are you going, when you get to your mom, do you hug your mom and kiss your mom, for example? Don't answer the question. Does Andre, when he gets to his parents, does he hug and kiss them when he sees them? Because when he does that, certainly Kaya will see and she will follow suit.
Okay. Full stop. Other question, another example. Crying, hysterically frustrated kids, throwing them on the floors in the supermarket. Tell us.
A child will celebrate you in public or humiliate you in public on how they are treated in private. This I stand by. When a child is loved in private, the child will celebrate you in public. When the child is not loved in private, the child will humiliate you in public, because they're going to throw the same tantrums they do at home and they get away with. They'll chuck that same tantrums in public. So when I see children in public, in restaurants or supermarkets, and they are going crazy, you know, first, without criticism, first thing comes to mind is that the good news is that child is searching for what? For validations, for approvals, for acceptance, and is choosing that platform because that's the only platform that gets the best attention from you. And what is that actually? That's a negative attention deficit, negative attention disorder, where the child is using negative behavior to get the attention of mom and dad. So when you see a child shouting and screaming in public, that child is recognized every time they do that, they get the attention of mom and dad. So that child's not loved in private. So in public, he's going to look for his validations and his acceptance and his approval from mom and dad.
So again, the answer is love. Today is my day. I'm just like, love is not the answer. No, of course it is. Of course it is.
Of course it is the answer.
Yeah, it's just on some days it's more challenging. And yeah, go ahead, Mom.
No, I wanted to say the days that love is more challenging would be on that day. It's not that day that something has gone amiss. It's actually the day before. It's actually the day before, because our bodies react, you know, periodically after we've subjected to trauma or discomfort from some capacity or another. So should we have some discomfort on a Friday with Kaya, we should know Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday we acted out of character. So either Kaya might have witnessed a discomfort between you and Andre, or you might have been on the phone speaking to someone, business. I know you don't do that anymore, and you might have expressed yourself in a manner that Kaya feels it. Because children, what do? They repeat what they see.
Yeah, 100%. We are the greatest example. Out of a life situation. 2 days ago we were at the playground and we used to play this role thing. Mommy, you're Kaya now and I'm mommy. Okay.
Wow.
And I know kids do that to digest things in life and moments in life. And so she would be like, okay, wait, you tell me you want to swing so high, okay? I was like, yeah, mommy, can you swing me super high until the moon? And she's like, hold on a second. She went to the bench, took my phone, sat like this, and was watching the phone. And I said, Mommy. She's like, Moment mal. And I was like, but please. Okay. I just need to do something on my phone. And I was like, Kaya, oh my gosh, my kid is freaking leading me. And it was such a present awakening moment. And I was like, Angie, look what she does right now. It was just crazy.
Was that not telling you what I said to you guys from the start? Is that Kaya is going to lead you. She's the leader of this family. Yes, Alfia, Kaya. Kaya is going to... I'm sure Alfia's got the best of Kaya as well. I told you, Kaya is going to lead you guys. This is the spiritual little leader. And Kaya is filled with love from you, from Andre, from Alfia, from your mom, from your dad, from Andre's parents, from his sister Stephanie, from everyone, from all sides. So we've got to drop the mic on Kaya, someone just said.
Hey, Levy.
Kaya's going straight to Hollywood. No, not anywhere else. And I love this because here, Andre, you too, you're having a good laugh here. Kaya is leading you. Kaya is mom and dad together.
And this is, the message to all of our parents is to listen more and to not, on one level, to meet your kids at one level and to not always believe they're kids and they do not understand. Of course, there are certain things they don't get, but they have such a sense, such a strong intuition, what's wrong. And also they smell like good energy people, compared to like, oh, I'd rather stay away from that person. They always give you like this intuition. Okay, I got you.
Well, my love, thank you. As I said before, kids actually, they don't really know right from wrong, right? However, they got the intuition to feel what feels authentic and what feels good to them. Now, Kaya is a very special kind of child because she's got a mixture of you, Andre, and the rest of both families as part of her, upbringing. When you look at Kaya's first year, it's very different to the period that follows after that. Is that in the first year you guys were literally searching on how do you actually do this, and from when we started our sessions, immediately there was a massive adjustment in terms of how you're loving Kaya, how you treat Kaya, and how you're raising Kaya, and that has had I'd say to you, it's a lasting effect on this beautiful child because she's starting to develop, or she has developed into a child that's 3-4 times her age. For her to do that, she's 3 years old, to go sit on the phone and mimic you. This is huge. So we must acknowledge the depth in her age and not necessarily treat her like a little child.
I know, 100%. So guys, listen more to your kids.
Listen more to your kids.
And do what they tell you to do.
Well, do what they show you to do.
No, because I'm like, I said once to my mom-in-law, like, Kaya, shall we do it this way? And then I'm waiting, is it a wrong or a right answer? Because I'm scared of her reaction. Is she going to be like, yes, mommy, or like, no? This is just makes me crazy.
Well, it
drives me crazy.
It's your anxiety, not hers.
I know.
You should trust her, right? You should trust her. Should you trust her, then whatever comes from her is authentic. And sometimes we don't recognize this. Is that we believe in the child. The belief system is based on what? On understanding what's good for the child. So I say to parents, to moms and dads, motherhoods and dads out there is, don't impose too much of your past reality onto your child. Understand that and be open to change. Because with change is uncomfortable. Not everybody enjoys change. Sometimes people pull back and they go into a shell when there's change. And this generation of kids are very advanced in their processing because they've got iPads all the time and they can search. Back in our days we couldn't do that. So they've got greater chance for growth and expansion. And when you add the understanding of what's good for the child and your understanding nutrition, we spoke about this briefly last week, is the food you eat affects the mood you keep. This is very important, and we're going to start monitoring what foods we eat. I'm not parents are eating, and understand what foods are good for your children, because sometimes the food that you enjoy might not be good for your kids.
I agree. Let's come to the sleeping and night routine part. There was also another question that I wanted to share with you guys. But first of all, you told me also kids will show you if they fall nicely and smoothly asleep, then it's also a good sign of they don't have like a negative attention disorder, right? So also when it comes to food and eating, if they don't eat or they don't sleep well or don't fall asleep as they should, then it's all signs of that. And the next topic that I would like to discuss is what you always say, what happened today is the root or the reason what happened 2 or 3 days before. So whenever we have a child that is acting crazy and you don't understand, like, what just happened, but just ask yourself what happened a few days ago. And it makes so much sense. Like one day Andre and I, we argued or had a discussion quite loudly, and it really affected Kaya. I mean, in Bodhi it was, I don't know, he's still a baby, so I didn't recognize it in him, but Kaya was a different person. That's so intense.
But those days later, right? Or immediately?
100% was 4 or 5 days later.
Yeah, because it takes that amount of time to process on what is real and what is not. So then she focuses on your behavior, your Andre's behavior after this discomfort, and she focuses on how you guys are with each other. Not like focusing, she feels it and she internalizes it. And then her body reacts a few days later. I'm sure then she didn't want to eat, she didn't want to sleep, she didn't want to play, she didn't want to sit down. She was all over, and all she was literally asking for is love.
Yeah.
Not love only for her, love from both of you to each other.
Yeah, I agree to that. So
yeah, 100%. You know, whatever happens, our body will always show. And this is for us as adults. You go through a challenging period. Not you, anyone going through a challenging period. Like I said earlier on a Monday, Tuesday, your body might only show the trauma a week later, even a month later. You know, we don't know that. Some bodies are stronger than others. Some of us are just not strong enough to take on that emotion. Kids can you imagine kids in an environment where, and this is why we say when the parents have discomfort amongst each other, it's so beautiful to go into a room, close the door, and speak about it there, or go outside and go shout outside if you wish to. Don't do it in the presence of the child, because the child's internalizing it. And after a while, the child starts believing it's okay to be happy 4 days and unhappy 3 days, because we set that pattern in motion, and we get to, without even saying it, we're telling the child this is normality. It's okay to be unhappy for 2 days a week. Oh.
And it's not okay to be, you know, we once listened to a podcast where he said, like, the people that go to the office and sit like in their boxes, and their 5 happiest moments is when you go to on the toilet with your phone. And I was like looking to Andre, and I know friends that are parents too. We could relate, because that's such an escape with your phone, sitting on the toilet. It's like, hell, you're too long on the toilet. Come out there. Like, are you with your phone or without the phone? TMI, but it's just crazy that this is again a sign it's not enough of your me time. So just, it's okay, it's not easy for one parent to take care of 2, 3 babies, but still there has to be some kind of structure to just take yourself out for 3 hours where you just don't escape on the toilet room.
Well, it's also to be real about your coping mechanisms. You feel you're choking, is to say to your partner, I need an escape. I need a few days. I need an hour. I need a few hours. I need a minute. I just need to get out. I need to go for a walk, have a cup of coffee, or I need to go to Alfia. I need to speak to her. I need to hang out with her. Whatever it is, be honest. Don't wait until it chokes, because the moment it chokes, this is when what happens is we explode. Because we always express ourselves in the moment that we've reached saturation point. So in that moment, it's too late. It's almost too late to do what? To save the environment. Because there's the expression of anger and frustration, and it's just but we got to
how do you recognize that it's about to happen?
Well, you can feel, you know yourself. So I would never allow myself to get to thank you for your question. No? I would never allow myself to get to an environment where I'm about to choke, because I have regular exits for myself of my own life, regular exits of my journey, regular exits of me time, self-caring time. Because this allows me to be consistent at who I am on a continued basis. So I imagine what would be good for you and Andre is to start looking at what sort of mechanism do you have to put into place when you're looking at Monday to Friday, for example. Which day do you find you are literally drained? I would imagine on a Thursday. So maybe on a Tuesday or Wednesday, alternatively, is to have a checkout time and say, okay, fine, you know what? I'll take the kids tonight from 7. You go and meet up with some of your mates, or whatever you want to do for the next couple of hours. But we have to introduce mechanisms that support the growth and progress of a healthy relation. Should we not do that, then we are actually encouraging an unhealthy environment for being parents.
Thank you, my love. With my situation right now, having a 3-year and a 1-year-old baby, it's they're still babies, both of them. But waking up, everyone wants mommy. Like Bodhi would crawl on me. He would not accept like sitting there or being with Andre, especially in the morning. And Kaya is screaming for mommy, mommy, mommy. But I want you now. I want to cuddle with you. And I feel like where to go first and how to combine that, because Bodhi is not sitting. He is restless. He's moving, and he's going now, like he's walking. And this is where I say, right now I'm with Bodhi, but just give me 1 second. I'm right with you, you know. And Andre is somewhere in the kitchen or in the bathroom in the morning, you know. So this is where it gets challenging for me too. What would be advice for all the mommies out there who are in a similar situation?
Thank you. You say there are 2 babies. It's actually 3 babies. Andre also wants you. So you say wants your attention. So let's not forget about
100% agree.
Andre, I love you, my brother. Got your back. Got your back.
I love you too, my beautiful, significant life partner.
So because that's become habitual now, I would imagine that there's a period every morning that both Kaya and Bodhi are reaching out for you. What would be really amazing, and this is for parents, is to allow yourself a 15 or 20 minute wake up before the kids wake up in the morning. So you can at least have a little bit of time with Andre, even just having a cup of coffee with him, because that alone will feed you, and it allows Andre to participate in that moment. Because when you are, when these kids are waking up and you are literally running from the time they wake up, you know, you are running against the clock. And when you're saying to Kaya, Mommy's going to just be with Bodhi and come to you now, then you also, in a certain manner, what are we doing to Kaya? Making her feel that she's second best.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, so we have to periodically maybe even, attend to Kaya first, even though, we know Bodhi needs to be fed. So we've got to alternate it in a manner that the one child does not feel that they're not good enough for that particular moment for mom or dad.
I have one more important question when it comes to sharing is caring. Kaya is like, this is my pillow, but also she would take Bodhi's toys out of his hands and like, this is mine now, thank you, and would leave. And I'm like, okay, you told me this example of saying that this is all ours. It's mommy's, daddy's, yours, and Bodhi's, all ours. Yes. But is it also important to have her own space, her own toys and things?
But look, I mean, I don't believe in possession. Possession is ego. I believe that, we're raising 2 beautiful children and we can instill values in them that does not consist of possession, because possession is always going to be material, right? Pillows, bed, etc. Where we can release that need to be attached to material things from a younger age, and let them rather be attached to the emotion and love that you continue to share. It's much greater, by far, much greater values to instill in children. However, in the same breath, I would rather you just recommend that you and any parent rather continue to allow children to feel that they are part of the whole, instead of that they are parts of a whole.
Yeah. Part of the whole. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Instead of part of the whole.
The other day I was reading, we have a few more minutes, I was reading a post from a mom of 3, and she said, well, guys, there's so much to say and I don't know where to start. And she was talking about how difficult it is to be actually single mom and to do it all, and that she has no time for herself. And of course she expressed just her feelings, and she was like, and my youngest would play with my nipples to fall asleep, and I just don't feel my body is mine anymore. And I felt so, I could so relate to that, because it's until today, like Kaya needs that routine with me and cuddling, and sometimes I just don't like being touched, and she wants me to touch, and then I get this kind of tension, kind of aggression in me, but I don't want to speak it out loud. So I would touch her, because she would also play around like this, so we just calm her down and say like, yes. But in, like, this is again a negative talking about being a mom and complaining a little bit, but sometimes it's also, you know, there are people who are in the same situation and you can laugh about it with them.
Thank you, my love. You know, it is, again, we lead our child to, or our children to what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And education is key here. So I believe the right way to do it would be to educate Kaya at a moment when she's not busy playing with your breast. In a moment where it's you, in a moment when it's you and her together, and you guys are having your bonding time, and I'm sure you do that periodically. And you know, to spend some time and explain to her what is good and what is not, and say, when you do this, mom don't enjoy it. Rather play with mom's ears. Give an alternate.
No.
You don't like the ears either. Okay, toes. It's got to be something.
Oh gosh.
Put your finger in mom's nose is better. Mom enjoys that.
Oh gosh.
You see, education is again key. You know, we've got to be understanding is that your child is not reaching out to you. Kaya's not reaching out because she doesn't love you. She maybe don't know how to express love to you, and this could be her way of telling you she loves you. I don't know what that means. Of your aber warum, I don't know what that means.
Because it's her favorite question. No matter what you say, I'm hungry, but why? I'm going to drink a glass of water, but why? Kaya, I want you to do this and that, but why?
But why? Well, this is a good. Well, you know, she's asking for answers, right? She's
education. She wants to be educated. Yes.
She's a smart girl, Alfia. You guys got to understand. She's an intelligent girl. She comes from a good breed of intelligent people and intellectual individuals. So, my love, it's just understand. It's not complaining when you say you find discomfort in what she's doing. To you, it's unacceptable. To her, it's acceptable. Where's the middle ground? The middle ground is let me educate you on what I'm prepared to accept. I don't accept you to be playing with my breast, but you know I have to find something. So play with my ear. You got to find what else are you acceptable with, and then don't complain when she does it, because kids have different ways of expressing. You know, she didn't just start that one day out of nowhere. You know, maybe she did it once and, you know, felt that you're comfortable with it, and she keeps going with it because you allowed her. And to take it away from her just like this, you know, again, it's not good behavior to a child.
So also, like you say, a bad behavior when you would not welcome her doing something, so you should propose something as an alternative, like
absolutely,
let's rather do instead this and that. So just to distract her from the other thing, and not saying you don't do that, you shouldn't do that, you're not supposed to do that.
We shouldn't be speaking negative. You redirect her attention to something on a more positive behavior. So when a child is doing Mama Glowy, thank you for your kind words.
Yes.
When you're speaking to a child and you, instead of saying to a child what not to do, redirect them on something that's better to be done, either as a replacement for this or something not related altogether. Because the child really is going to focus on what? On where you're leading him or her. And when you're leading him or her with love, they're going to take it. They can feel authenticity. And over time, they will start seeing every time they want to touch your breast that you're teaching them something else. So they'll either use that to learn more things from you, or they'll stop doing it altogether. It's a mechanism. You know, your process of motherhood is a consistent and continuous process of implementing mechanisms to support the growth, progress, and expansion of your beautiful children. And this is to all parents and to all moms.
Yes, beautifully said, beautifully said. So yes, I would say half an hour is over and we're still on.
We're still on.
Is allowing us a little bit longer.
They're gonna hear us. Let's keep going and see how long they allow us before they cut us. You know, I want to ask you a question. You're speaking about motherhood.
Yeah.
What about fatherhood? Seeing that we're finishing off this topic today, fatherhood has no less importance in the raising of a child than motherhood does. Though, you know, the father by nature is to take care of the family. Mother by nature is to nurture the family. Taking care of the family includes, you know, having home, food, clothing, and the necessary requirements for a healthy living. The mom is to provide love, support, and to nurture children and dad at the same time. And this is something we must be mindful of, that the dad's role in the upbringing of a child is no less than the mom is. And we've gone through this whole thing with Amber Heard and her case of abuse to what's the monkey's name again?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. And we realized that men also have moments of breakdown. Men also, and it was the first of who's really increased the mental awareness on men itself. And we've got to be mindful that men also have breakdown from husbands, dads, fathers also have breakdowns from time to time. And as moms, we must recognize it and connect with it. Because often when dads have breakdowns, moms see it as a weakness, and moms would reject dad and saying that, he's not participating, he's not supporting. And this is a very important message to all moms out there today and to all parents, is to make sure that jointly mom and dad shares the same love and responsibility and ownership of the raising of their beautiful children in a manner that supports a healthy environment for all parties concerned. Very important message.
Write it all down, people, and especially the word ownership in general of your life, of your children. Like, own the situation instead of like us today. Oh, it rains. What can we do with the kids? Well, nothing. You can go outside. It's raining. We're living in a city. It's stressful. But these are all reasons, and blame others. There's always a chance. Like, that if you want to, when there's like interest, there must be effort, and it's all up to you to own your situation.
100% ownership. We don't always have to do something or go somewhere just because it's weekend. I live, you know this, you've known me for a while. My life from Sunday to Sunday, there's no difference in what day is weekend, what day is week, because I live my life on an equal balance. Is that when I feel I need a break, I take a break. When I want to go for my massage, I go for my massage, I go for my facial. I have a structure, and I maintain it. And I don't wait for weekends because and I'm looking forward to it. And this is something that's very important, especially when listen, parents always, there's a lot of parents living in cities, a lot of parents living in apartments, a lot of parents living in families, living in all sorts of structures around the world. And it doesn't make them any unhappier because of the lifestyles that they're living or the standards by which they live. The only difference might be that they found greater reason to love more and to love the environment and their kids more. I was speaking to a family the other day where they had like 9 kids. And I said, in this day and age, they have 9 kids. Wow, I applaud you guys. And, the love that they share, you can see between mom and dad, it's just unbelievable. And the kids are just filled with so much love. And I spent 2 days with them, and it's just so beautiful. And it's because the belief structure is not, I said this morning in a session, is that we become the belief system we set for ourselves. So when your belief system is based on external factors to make you happy, that's what you're going to get, because that's what you subscribe to. So when you subscribe to that kind of belief systems and structures, that's what you're going to get.
The singer Pink once said, like, you get your first heartbreak realizing that your parents are not perfect, that they have made mistakes, because growing up you would like look up to your parents and these are your heroes and your idols, and then you realize, oof, would have done this differently, and that's the other way, and I feel this way too. So let's see if Kaya will share this with Pink or not.
No, I'm sure Kaya is, and so will Bodhi. Will be delighted in their parents. You and AnnA are doing a phenomenal job. And I applaud you, and I thank you for allowing me to participate in your journey, because you guys are doing your best on a consistent basis, continued basis, and you're not afraid to raise your hand when you run into a wall and say, listen, how do I get out of this? What is the next best decision? There are too many parents in this beautiful world that we live that are so egotistically vibrating such a high egotistical vibration that they refuse to ask for help or refuse to reach out for assistance from anyone. And they were just very adamant in doing things their way, regardless whether it's destroying their kids, whether it's hurting their kids or creating some handicap that the child in the future is going to have it difficult to relate to. So, what you and AnnA are doing, and this platform that you're sitting, I said this to you the other day, you have no idea, I'm sure you do to an extent, but what awareness you're spreading around the world by speaking about your life so openly. You've literally I shared so many of the relayed messages over to you of people speaking to me. And it's because it's important for you and AnnA to understand that you are changing lives by being this transparent with your lives and allowing others to learn from your journey and where you've been and where you are now. And I always say you must never forget where you started, never forget what you sacrificed, never forget what you achieved, and never forget where you're heading. You're heading to
how beautiful. I'm so thankful for you, and also I'm so grateful to share our journey. And I'm looking forward to do a session with Andre next to me talking about relationship. Maybe we should do it next Sunday.
Let's do that next Sunday. Andre, we welcome you. You can send your application form in before Tuesday. We'll review it. We'll review it for approval, and we'll come back to you by Wednesday afternoon for the latest, Andre.
I'm excited, guys. Thank you, Lee. Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Thank you, guys, for being. Thank you, Andre. Love you. See you, Andre.
Bye-bye.